90.5 The Night, Brookdale Public Radio. Jeff Raspy here with Tim and Neil of the Ribeye Brothers. And we happen to be at Asbury Lanes in Asbury Park. How are you guys?
Pretty good, thanks.
Doing well, thanks, Jeff.
Thanks for coming. Thanks for meeting me here.
Thanks for having us.
And actually, thanks to Asbury Lanes for letting us do this here.
Yeah, very cool to do that.
This is going to be a step above doing it over Zoom.
Yes.
So,
yes.
so that's a good thing. And there's a reason we're here at Asbury Lanes, because on Saturday, the 20th of November, you guys will be returning to the stage here at Asbury Lanes, which is now an actual legitimate stage, as opposed to, and I honestly did not know this, and I'm not sure how many people do know this, the Ribeye Brothers were the first rock show at Asbury Lanes.
Yeah.
What was that, 2003?
Yeah.
So how did that come about? How did, this is Asbury Park. There are, and always have been, a lot of stages available. Why did you guys choose to play a place that had no stage and had never hosted a show?
Well, Neil actually tipped us to it.
Oh.
I think it might have been
Yeah.
Mel. But
I can take that one. So when we were living down this way, and on our Sunday afternoon ritual was we would come here and bowl. It was $1 for a game, $1 to rent the shoes, and a grilled cheese was $1. So for under $10, you'd be here for a couple hours and just having a blast. And there was not many other people here besides a few of us. And then after doing that for a couple weeks in a row, maybe a month or two, we said, hey, you guys, they're not even open on Friday nights. They were only open for league play at that point. So they were open like maybe 2 days a week. It was like Saturday nights for a league and maybe a Thursday night for a league. Wow. And the rest of the time, they would be open for maybe a school would come in and bowl or something like that. So they had a lot of open days on the calendar, and we wanted to play a show somewhere cool. And we thought it looked great in there, and it'd be a fun night, have people bowling while the bands played and set up turntables, have DJ. And we just asked them and they said, sure. And then it went so well that it was so crowded that we said, let's do it again, and kept doing it until it became a club.
Yeah. And over the years, it went from just a small area in front of the alleys to an actual stage over the alleys.
Yeah, it was a carpet at first that we just put on the approach where you go to throw the ball. We just squeezed the carpet into that area. And
we had to wear bowling shoes.
Yeah. Because it's a rule.
Yeah.
And so, I was here many times, and I think a lot of bands, when they found out it was still active bowling was going on during the show, kind of threw them off, because, Murphy's Law will tell you that as soon as there's a quiet moment on stage, somebody's throwing a strike.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of the quieter shows definitely, it didn't work as well when you come here to see a quieter band and the bowling was like drowning them out. But it kind of made it like for a new third thing. It wasn't the band and it wasn't bowling. It was something, a weird audio verite thing.
Right. And because I think a lot of people probably don't remember that having entertainment at a bowling alley was something that happened. Not necessarily on the lanes. There would be a back room or something where there'd be entertainment. So, and now with Asbury Lanes and all the Brooklyn Bowls and stuff like that, I think it's sort of turned into a thing where you can have a stage on a section of lanes. And I think most artists are probably, please don't bowl while we're on stage. But, but you could.
Yeah. There's always going to be people like, you're not the boss of me, I'm bowling. Get me the loudest ball.
Yeah, it's like, I came here to bowl, not see you guys.
Yeah, exactly. Didn't realize a band was playing. I don't care.
Jeff Raspy here with Tim and Neil from the Ribeye Brothers at Asbury Lanes. And they will be back on November 20th to play a show with Black Flamingos,
and Von Mons.
and Von Mons. Two bands that you guys tend to play with a lot.
Not so much. We play with the Black Flamingos a few times, and it's always a blast to play with them. We play with the Von Mons more.
Yeah.
But they're both local, and they're both great, working different angles and stuff. And Black Flamingos are a great surf band, and
Right.
and Von Mons are an amazing garage rock band. Great hooks, harmonies. They're great.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's on Saturday, November 20th, which I guess is the Saturday before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know. I feel like Thanksgiving moves every year, and I forget when it is.
Right.
Yes.
But the reason that you guys are doing it, I mean, actually, is there a reason to do it here in sort of as a, I don't know, reminder, homage to the fact that you guys were the first rock show?
I don't know. I mean, we were asked to play here. I mean, it's a nice angle. We've wanted to play, we just like playing different places.
Yeah.
And we wanted to play here. We were trying to get in as an opening act for previous shows and hadn't had any luck. And we were, Jerry asked us, we would be interested in this. And, she mentioned as the first band to play here, it would be a nice thing. And, we jumped at it. So, we put together a good bill, and they've been super supportive. So, yeah.
Yeah, it should be great. And I think reminding folks that, it was only 2003 when, it wasn't even a venue that you guys rented it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So it wasn't really a venue. And now, however many years later that is, 16, 17, 18.
18.
It's a premier
Yeah.
venue.
Yeah.
World class.
Yeah.
So it was great that, you and Mel struck that deal way back when.
Yeah. I mean, it was great. We had a lot of fun. And that first night, they ran out of beer. So that was a good sign.
And that was just the stage allotment.
Yes. Yeah, got a little sloppy up there. Yeah. The second set was a mess. Yeah.
Oh, it was 2 sets even.
Yeah.
It was.
It was 2 sets and a DJ, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Was it DJ Dehydrated Pirate?
I was one of them. Yeah. And then Jack Trainer.
Yeah. Did Jack Hemsley, Jack the Ripper, do it?
I don't know if he did yet. He wasn't in the fold yet, I don't think.
Okay. Yeah, Jack
And
Trainer.
Jack Trainer had turntables.
Yes.
I didn't own them yet. That was one of my first, though, for sure.
Cool.
Yeah.
So now, last year, you guys released a new album, Every July Peas Grow There,
Yes.
which I must admit, I just thought was a cool phrase. And I literally only in the last few days found out where it comes from.
Yeah.
And it's awesome.
Yeah.
So for folks who don't know, explain where the phrase "Every July Peas Grow There."
Jesus. It was a commercial for oh my God, I'm drawing a blank.
Well, Orson Welles.
Yes,
First, you got to
it
explain
was
who Orson
Yeah,
Welles
okay,
is.
yeah. I mean, it was Orson Welles who was washed up at the time, doing a pea commercial.
Frozen peas.
Frozen peas. It was actually a frozen food commercial. And it was like somebody had gotten the master tapes from it, and he is just bitterly complaining. But in that great melodious voice of his, it's genius. And you can listen to it over and over again.
It was from a tape called Celebrities at Their Worst,
Yes.
where it was like they compiled all these outtakes of people cursing on mic and Casey Kasem losing his mind and everyone just unraveling behind the mic. So if you haven't listened to the whole thing, there's hours of it and all of it is gold. Yeah, it's
I think
great.
Buddy Rich is on there.
Buddy Rich is the best.
Yes, the Buddy Rich stuff.
Mhm.
You can listen to the Buddy Rich tapes for forever and never be bored.
It was the kind of thing that, like, while on tour in any band, that always came onto the tape deck for sure.
Well, and for those of us from Jersey, probably rivaled the Jerky Boys.
Yes.
So the 2-bar tape.
Yeah. Right.
And it was, since the band's a democracy, it takes a long time to agree on something. So
Mm.
we agreed on that, and
Mhm.
So it had to stay.
it was one of the few things we agreed on. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough to get everybody in agreement.
Well, that is part of why there's only two of you here today.
Yeah. Yes. We need a benign dictatorship. Sometimes bad democracies don't work. But yeah, we were really happy with the title. Just not long enough. It should be a lot longer.
Give Guided by Voices a run for their money on album title length.
Yes.
Jeff Rasby here with Tim and Neil from the Ribeye Brothers. They're going to be at Asbury Lanes on November 20th, the Saturday night. And we are, in fact, here now conducting this interview. I wanted to also ask you guys about the new merch. Like, for those of us watching the video of this, I'm wearing a classic Crazy Eddie parody Ribeye Brothers shirt.
Which Joe and John hated because they thought it had to do with hippies. I don't know.
Because it looks sort of like a Grateful Dead-ish type of drawing, maybe? Huh. Wow.
Joe and John are professional against this.
Yeah.
So,
And the current line of Ribeye Brothers merch is a parody of Reese's Peanut Butter Cups.
yes.
The only thing that Joe likes.
And Joe came up with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it was good. Yeah, it was a great idea.
Well, and it's funny too. As I was digging this out of my closet, I realized, now off the top of my head, there are two parody designs.
There's a few more.
Have the Ribeye Brothers ever gotten a cease and desist, or is that the goal?
We wish.
Yeah, that'd be great. We're going for that.
Put us on the map.
Yeah, that is often the goal. Yeah,
that's the dream. And we've been together for 20 years, and we're still waiting for a first cease and desist.
And so every July Peas Grow, there's the new album. Sort of new. It came, last summer?
Newish.
Last summer, I guess?
Fall, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
But for anybody who did release an album in 2020, it's still new.
Right.
Yeah,
Because nobody got to tour
Not
for
the best
it.
time to release a record.
Yeah.
But after realizing that it was not going to be a 2-hour shutdown or 2-week shutdown,
Right.
you just kind of, okay, it's got to come out.
And we don't rely on touring.
Right.
Well, there's other bands that do, which is, the pandemic was, a death knell.
Yeah.
But since we don't rely on touring, we just wanted to get the record out there.
Yeah. So this is one of the few times you've been able to get in front of people and play these songs.
Yeah.
And I was reminded, I actually listened to it again last night, and I was reminded, and I think I've told everyone in the band separately that
It stinks.
not only are these, a logical progression of maturity in the songwriting and the playing and stuff like that, which is not to say that, you guys are mature by any stretch of the imagination.
Thank you.
There's still plenty of, self-deprecating humor, straight up humor throughout the album. But I think I told all you guys, it sounds so good.
Yeah, it does.
Like
it sounds good.
It sonically sounds, which is not to say that, the previous albums sounded bad.
Right.
Or, you guys play in a style that sort of lends itself to kind of sounding
More lo-fi production,
lo-fi,
typically,
Sure.
but this album just sounded, I remember the first time I put it on, it sounded so good, like leaps above previous albums.
Yeah, it's nice and punchy.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
That has a lot to do with Adam at Retro Media Studios in Red Bank. John worked with him a lot doing mixing and some of the tracking there. So yeah, Adam was great. He was a big help.
Yeah. And do you guys, I don't even know the answer to this. Do you guys normally go to professional studios to record, or you kind of a home recorder, basement
More so
recording
home
band?
recording. Yeah, once in a while we'll track something at a studio, but yeah, this was the most I think that we've ever done in a proper studio, right?
Yeah, it is. Hopefully the next record will do more of that because we were really happy with it.
Yeah.
Well, we usually record in John's basement where Neil and I can't stand up.
Right. Luckily I get to sit because I'm playing drums, but Tim has to.
I'm sitting in like a like us on a stool singing, and it's, like some horrible lounge act. But, it's good for practice. It's a little, I have to stand between beams when I stand up.
Yeah.
When I sing and not hit my head on a nail. So it's a little arduous. Yeah.
And more than a little distracting when you're trying to, lay down the keeper.
Yes.
Vocal.
Right.
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah. And John's doing his laundry across the room.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
It's not great.
And then there's a cat walking around. Yeah. So, yeah.
And
That's where
everyone's
the litter
allergic.
box is. Yeah.
Well, I'm sick of bad news. The good news that'll never come. I'm tired of waiting for an answer. The future and I'm a bum. I want it right now, yeah, right now. I got no time to lose. Want it right now, yeah, right now. I got no time to lose. It's obvious that I'm a sad bastard, looking for under the shoulder crown. I gotta lower my expectations, cup of coffee and a piece of pie. I want it right now, yeah, right now. I got no time to lose. I want it right now, yeah, right now. I got no time to lose. I want it right now, yeah, right now. I got no time to lose. I want it right now, yeah, right now. I got no time to lose. Right now, yeah, right now. I got no time to lose. I want it right now, yeah, right now. I got no time to lose.
Jeff Raspy here with Tim and Neil from the Ribeye Brothers. Saturday, November 20th at Asbury Lanes. Once again, we are here at Asbury Lanes. So thanks to everyone at Asbury Lanes for letting us do this here. Also, thanks to my buddy Jason Portizo for bringing in some microphones
Thanks, Jason.
and a camera and stuff. It's a nice change of pace to not have to do this over Zoom. It's not quite what it is doing it live in our studios, but we still really can't do that.
Right.
Soon.
Yeah.
And back here at Asbury Lanes, which I must believe has a much better sound system than it did that first night in 2003.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, there
Yeah,
was no PA. We brought our own speakers, set up the mics. I don't know who did sound.
I don't
but,
know either. Did we even have monitors?
No way.
We didn't have
no way.
monitors either. Yeah.
Yeah, it would be a couple of years before, maybe a year before we built the stage over the lanes and got a soundboard and hung speakers from the ceiling and stuff. So it was pretty loose in the beginning. Had a real party kind of atmosphere to it.
Well, that
was
it
fun.
did.
that's kind of what I was thinking. So you guys kind of rented it out from Mel as we're going to do a show. It's really just going to be a party.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys have any idea or any inkling that it could be the start of something? I mean, do you remember what the next show was?
That would be a dream. Yeah, you were dreaming I hope this would be incredible if we had a place like this and we could get other bands from around the country to come here and play. That would be amazing. It was
Almost like a clubhouse.
Yeah,
It's just kind of like, hey, we wanted to find something that we could kind of put our thumbprint on. It'll be like, okay, we're playing there, you know, and it'll be like a good hang and some good music and just a you know, good place to hang out.
Right.
And then, you know, it kind of got really big, which is great, you know, and just a lot of great bands, you know. Yeah.
Well, it's funny you guys described it that way because most folks will not be surprised that I've had this conversation with Jesse Mallon. When he opened Coney Island High on St. Mark's Place, that was basically the same thing, the same model. He was like, want a fun place to hang for he and his friends, gave most of them jobs, and, you know, for whatever the capacity was there, you could bring in a whole, you know, section of touring bands, as well as all the New York City bands, and make a go at it. And they did. I think Coney Island High might have lasted 9 years or something like that.
We played there too, really early on.
Really?
I think it was a weird lineup. I think Kim Rausch might have been in a band, and
Whoa.
Eric Paparazzi, I think,
Oh.
played. That was one of the few shows he played.
I remember that lineup.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was-
yeah.
yeah.
How about that?
Yeah, it was. We've been around for a long time. And my mind's not what it used
Do
to
you know
be.
how many members there have been in Ribeye's? Like, it's got to be close to 20, right?
I think over 20.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that actually reminds me of another thing. I remember I was interviewing I was interviewing Glenn Tilbrook of Squeeze one time, and he was in the process of putting together the first Squeeze Greatest Hits collection that he was allowed to take part in.
Mm-hmm.
Like all of the others, there's several.
Yeah.
All of the others were put together by somebody at the record company.
45s and under. I
Yeah,
think. That's
singles 45s and under and others. This was the first one that he had a hand in putting the songs together. And he realized in looking back at all of the Squeeze songs that they had somewhere north of 50 members
Oh, my.
over the years on all of these songs.
Whoa. I never knew that.
I mean, the king of that is The Fall. I mean, there's a book just about the people who've been in The Fall. I think the people they couldn't find, and it was just, I mean, it's,
Wow.
I mean, The Fall has had like a small town's worth of people in
Yeah.
that band.
And as long as there's at least one constant.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is that I was on my way here today. I realized that, like, I knew that Neil was not one of the original Ribeyes.
Right.
And the weird thing is even though Neil is from here on the Jersey Shore and the Bay Shore, actually you both are from like Keansburg, Middletown,
Mhm.
Right.
That's right.
that kind of area. Like for whatever reason, in my head, I connect Neil with New Haven, Connecticut,
Mm.
because we have a number of New Haven, Connecticut mutual
Right.
friends.
Yep.
The Butterflies, right?
Yeah, we may have met through the Butterflies of Love and Mark Mulcahy. I
Indeed,
think that
yeah.
was maybe how we met.
Yeah, I think that was even before I knew you lived in the Asbury Park area.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
But driving here, I was wondering, since you guys are both from the Jersey Shore and the Bay Shore area, I mean,
Yeah.
about as close as you can get, Keansburg and Middletown and, you know, that area. Did you guys know each other before Neil coming into the Ribeye Brothers?
I knew Neil from Jack's.
Okay.
So I mean, I'm a lot older than Neil. So I mean, you know.
Yeah. And Tim was the guy who worked behind the counter at the record store in Red Bank. And that was like a regular stop for us at least once a week. Take the bus into Red Bank and go to Jack's. And then have to ask the scary older people to like get you a tape from behind the counter or, you know, like ask them a question about a record. But Tim is the first one I remember actually kind of being nice.
See, I always like worried that like people would be like, "Hey, I used to go to Jack's when I was a kid," and I keep waiting to be like, "And you were a jerk." So I hope that like I'm glad I wasn't a jerk. Well, most of the time, but the guy behind the tape counter was scary.
Yeah.
There's when he can smoke inside, and he chain smoked
Think about that.
and just glared and just be like, and just was yeah, he was a tough room. Yeah.
Made for retail.
Yes.
Yeah. So at what point did the Ribeyes need Neil? Were you aware that he was a drummer? Or
Yeah, I mean, because he'd been in. I knew Neil because he was with people that I knew, and then I knew he had played drums in the Van Pelt,
Mhm.
and then like I forget how we asked.
Actually, yeah. And then in another band that I was in, Eggman, we opened up for
that's
Monster
right.
Magnet at the Fast Lane once. So, yeah, we were just in that orbit of playing, the Brighton Bar, Cafe Bar, and Fast Lane. We were in that sort of orbit. And then, so then
I
at
think I saw you guys at Michael's too.
Yes, yeah, we used to
When
do
me and
shows
Aaron
at
went there. We were like the oldest people at
right,
Michael's,
yeah.
and I was like
the arts and
we
crafts
were
store?
already, yeah.
No,
So we were
No, it was a pizza place in
in Middletown.
in Middletown. And the
Yeah.
girl I was going out with them, we went to see it, and it was like, oh, these guys are playing. I think it might have been you and 6 Foot Refrigerator.
Yeah, yeah. So
And
we were
like-
still in high school.
And I thought I thought I was, fairly young, and we went there, and like we were the oldest people. We were older than the people making pizza, and then these bands are playing, and I'm like, Jesus, what have we got ourselves into? But it was great. It was a great show.
We thought it was a very big deal that the guy from the record store came to the show. Yeah, we thought we'd really made it.
Well, I was not in this area
Mhm.
when, for lack of a better description, Middletown had a scene.
Yeah.
It wasn't until, was it the students of Middletown South did their version of,
Oh yeah. Yes, they recently did a documentary
Yeah.
about it. Yeah, yeah. Their Sonic Highways kind of.
their version of
Yeah.
Dave Grohl's Sonic Highways.
Yeah.
They did Middletown.
Yep.
And that pizza place apparently was a hub.
Yeah, it really was. Yeah, yeah. Little Steven was helped produce that documentary. I believe it's up on YouTube.
Yep.
You can look for it. But yeah, Middletown had like a thriving little scene going there in the late 80s, early 90s. And it was like you couldn't really play in a club yet at that point, and
Sure.
there weren't really, it wasn't like a coffee house thing that you could do. So like, yeah, we found this pizza place. I played there for a couple of years, and some like parties and whatnot. And then eventually Cafe Bar and the Brighton started doing some matinees. And then,
That's right, Cafe Bar.
yeah, the matinee thing was like, yeah, your entry point into playing at a club.
Right. Yeah. Because, that would have been just as the drinking age went up, I think, right? Probably
Could have
late
been, yeah.
80s. Yeah. I'm
I
trying to
remember matinees at Cafe Bar. I remember Monster Magnet and Ripping Corpse played there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it was a matinee show. It was crazy. And McBain, it was in the middle of the summer, and McBain had a parka coat. That's how early it was when he was still playing guitar, and really didn't want to do the show. So he played with the parka zipped all the way up in the middle of summer,
Yeah.
and just played feedback for the whole show. It's pretty amazing.
And this is the guy who mastered Every July Peas Grow There.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Yeah. He's got good ears. He saved them by wearing that parka.
Yes, he did. Yeah. He knew in the future I'm going to need my ears.
When I get off this playing on stage business.
Yeah.
Jeff Raspy here with Tim and Neil from the Ribeye Brothers. Once again, they're going to be at Asbury Lanes on Saturday, November 20th with Black Flamingos and Von Mons here in Asbury Park. We happen to be at Asbury Lanes right now. Again, thanks to everybody here at the Lanes for letting us set up in front of, for those of you watching this, we're actually in front of the alleys that are left.
Mm-hmm.
And looking forward to November 20th, the Saturday before Thanksgiving, which might be better than the night before Thanksgiving,
Yeah,
which I know is
definitely.
historically, the big party night, but
Right.
it's for some of us known as amateur night.
Amateur
So,
night.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yes, one of many amateur nights. Yes,
So it takes time, but eventually you
St.
figure
Patrick's
this
Day,
out.
Another
Yeah.
amateur night. Yeah,
And the new album, Every July Peas Grow There on Main Man Records, is available on vinyl,
Right.
digitally,
Mhm.
and CD.
yep,
We'll have some copies with us. We'll bring a bunch.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and some shirts,
The,
and some
Reese-
previous albums too.
the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup shirts.
Yes, yes,
Maybe even some Reese's peanut butter cups.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, it is only, it's
One
less than
free
a
one.
month from Halloween.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'm sure we can get some stale ones cheap. Free with purchase of shirt. Free half melted Reese's peanut butter cup.
Just don't use a bowling ball after you eat it.
Yes.
Once again, thank you guys for coming and hanging out with
Oh, thanks
with
so
us.
much for doing this.
Thanks
Jeff.
for having
really
us, Jeff.
appreciate it.
It was fun to reminisce.
Yeah, it was.
Absolutely.
It was
Yeah, that's kind of the what I was hoping to in part of connecting this current show with the first show, and and like I said, driving down here, it occurred to me that you guys are from the same area, so how did one would have thought that because you're from the same area that Neil might have been in the first or second version of Ribeye Brothers, but it wasn't.
It's a long history.
It's a long, weird, boring history. It's just but yeah, it's there's been a lot of people who've gone through the ranks, and Neil left too. He left for a while.
Yeah,
because you were the Butterflies were actually the Butterflies and Van Pelt got back together?
Yeah, we were doing a lot of rehearsing and some touring and stuff. So
yeah,
I had to take a little break for a while. And I was getting married too. That's was
right.
A lot on the plate. Yeah.
And there's not like, it's not like a lot of excitement going on in Ribeyeville. So, you could take some time off.
and not be missed. No,
not be missed, but just like you could jump back in.
The door is always open.
The doors, yes, there is doors open. Yeah.
Which I guess is kind of cool because Butterflies of Love and Van Pelt also went on hiatus, let's say, for a bit. And then the reason you had to leave the Ribeyes for a little bit was because they got it going again.
Yeah.
So those are also open doors for a tall drummer.
Yeah.
Tallest band in rock. Yeah.
90.5 tonight, Brookdale Public Radio. Jeff Raspy here with Tim and Neil from the Ribeye Brothers. Once again, Saturday, November 20th at Asbury Lanes in Asbury Park, along with Black Flamingos and Von Mons. The new album, Every July Peas Grow There, is out. And to find out more about the Ribeye Brothers, Facebook.com/The Ribeye Brothers.
Or Ribeye Brothers Band on Instagram.
Ribeye Brothers Band on Instagram as well.
Or we'll send out mailers. So
works
there, yeah.
You guys gave people who pre-ordered Every July.
Yeah.
You guys actually wrote a letter.
Yes,
for each pre-order.
Yeah, a good, nice fake letter from the international conglomerate who actually bought the Ribeye Brothers. Yes, it was good. I mean, I figure if somebody's going to lay out some money for the pre-order for a record, they might as well get something for it. So,
sure. Especially,
it's got some stickers and a dumb letter.
Sound unheard.
Yes. Yeah.
So once again, thanks a lot, and we'll see you the 20th of November at Asbury Lanes in Asbury Park.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thanks so much, man. I really appreciate it.
Thanks.
See you then.
Cool.